And we begin tonight at 6 over at the Indiana State House, where state lawmakers are now considering a bill creating a new governing body that would trigger big changes for IPS and charter schools.
The new body would be a board appointed by the mayor of Indianapolis and oversee several aspects of education within Indianapolis Public Schools. Emily Longnecker listened to hours of testimony from Hoosiers today, some who are in support of the changes, others who had big questions.
Well, one of the biggest concerns we heard today from those who testified was a concern that this law would take away power from an elected school board and give it to an appointed board, a move some argued would take away parents' voices. The proposed board has a name, the Indianapolis Public Education Corporation. The Indianapolis mayor would appoint the 9 members on it. House Bill 1423 that calls for this new body to govern IPS comes from several recommendations made by the Indianapolis Local Education Alliance, or ILEA. Last year, lawmakers passed a law creating ILEA to look at the future of IPS and the schools within it. ILEA came up with several recommendations, including the new board, to oversee school buildings, transportation, and funding for all schools, both public and charter, within IPS boundaries. Part of overseeing funding would include figuring out how property tax revenue is distributed across IPS and charter schools. The recommendation of shifting control to a new board saw pushback Monday from both lawmakers and members of the public.
We have an elected school board with IPS. Why are we creating another layer of government where there is no transparency and it's very difficult to have any accountability?
By creating an appointed board, it will strip parents of their power. And that's not going to strengthen our schools. It will distance families from them.
The bill also calls for a new school performance framework that all schools would be required to follow. Chronically underperforming schools would face closure. Also under the bill, there's a limit on who can authorize new charter schools, something some charter school advocates pushed back on.
If House Bill 1423 truly aims to put Indianapolis students first, restricting authorizers undermines that very goal. I urge you to allow Indianapolis charter schools to retain their autonomy under their chosen authorizer.
Some parents testified in support of the bill, which would create a unified transportation system where all IPS and charter schools would have to provide transportation for students.
Creating a more coordinated transportation system would help ensure students can actually attend the schools that best meet their needs.
So if this bill would pass as is, it would fundamentally really restructure how education is governed in Indianapolis. Now, the House Education Committee, they just heard testimony today, hours of it. They did not take a vote, but stay tuned for more on this proposed bill. It is certainly garnering a lot of discussion here. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett sent us this statement saying in part, quote, "These recommendations only mark the first step in the process of adapting the educational landscape in Indianapolis, which now is heading to the Indiana General Assembly for further consideration." And we break down the bills to watch this upcoming session with the week's episode of Crossroad Politics, a new one every week, and you can watch it tonight on our free streaming app. That's WTHR Plus. If you don't have it yet, well, come join us, get on board. It's available for download on Apple, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV.